completely ignored Meghan McCain and went to Sonny Halston on today's show. Hi, welcome to JOA. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and click the bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload. Please click subscribe and click the bell. Patreon.com/JOA. Support your boy on Patreon. $5 donation or more would definitely mean a lot to me. If you are a business and you are looking for promotion via YouTube, hit me up at joamedia1@gmail.com. That's joamedia1@gmail.com. I want you guys to watch this clip and I'll come back with some more.
Meghan, does this new advisory worry you?
A bit, just because I think that we're all playing sort of whack-a-mole right now and trying to figure out where we're at and what's going on. There's different news coming out of different countries about mask mandates being put in place. I don't think it's too far off to think that possibly in a few months that we could even go back to lockdowns if something like this happens. Look, I'm really angry because I did every single thing that everyone asked me to do, wear a mask, get vaccinated. And when we were talking about statistics about people who aren't getting vaccinated, I think there is this narrative coming out of the White House that it's just Republicans, which is just factually inaccurate. 1/3 of hospital workers in New York City are still unvaccinated, New York State. So if you're a hospital worker in New York, one of the most liberal states in the country, and you're not listening to science, but you've gone into a field of science, what is not being processed here? What narrative is not going down to you? Because I'm sorry, hospital workers should not be able to work in hospitals around immunocompromised people if you're not vaccinated. I am not normally for vaccine mandates, but I do think that if you are working in a hospital, that should be the case. Also, the CDC data that has just come out are saying that the share of vaccinations received by Black people continues to be much smaller than the share of deaths in most states. In California, 29% of vaccinations have gone to Hispanic people, while they account for 63% of cases, so low for Hispanic people as well. 48% of deaths and 40% of the population in the same state. Here in D.C., Black people have received 43% of vaccinations, while they make up of 56% of the cases, 71% of deaths, and 46% of the total population. So there are a lot of demographics that are still vaccine hesitant. I don't understand. Conservatives, Hispanic people, Black people, hospital workers, which to me is the most daunting. What is going on? Why are so many people in so many different places still unvaccinated and still vaccine hesitant? It's not just Republicans that are causing this problem. And yes, some Republicans are, but when you see people like Sean Hannity going on TV last night doing what he can to say, I believe in science and I'm vaccinated. Like, there are those of us that are trying, but I'm sorry, Dr. Fauci, but if you can't get your hospital workers in New York in line, how are we supposed to do it in any other demographic in the country?
Sonny, with
So I'm going to say this, like I said it yesterday, the South is the lowest of the low. Yes, it's a red state. Yes, it's a Republican state. But at the same time, we are still the lowest of the low. And it's a lot of people of color, it's African Americans that do not want to get vaccinated, I myself included. So it's not a Republican issue. One things I do understand about Fox News is that, their demographic is purely like conservative, right? And conservatives, they want limited government. And so, but I wish their messaging would have been different throughout this pandemic. Instead of saying take the vaccine, just say, if you want to consider taking the vaccine, you can, but also you have the right not to take it if you don't want to. Do your research on it. Simply just say that. And so I'm just tired of the liberal media just saying that it's a Republican issue when it's not a Republican issue. I'm sure there's many Republicans that aren't taking the vaccine as well. A lot of them, they have problems with wearing masks. Thinking that we're taking their rights away, but it's a lot of people of color. It's a lot of African Americans. It's a lot of people who aren't informed about healthcare. It's a lot of people who are thinking about past history of how Black people were treated when it came to syphilis, when it came to being tested as a guinea pig. We talked about this last night on my live stream. And so it's not just a Republican issue. And I'm just tired of the liberal media propaganda continuously blaming Fox News and Republicans for something that's not entirely true. And I could definitely see Meghan McCain's frustration. I definitely understand her frustration, which is the reason why I did not get vaccinated, because, the leadership in the beginning, the past president did not handle this situation well. And it just was miscommunication between the former CDC director, Mr. Ridgefield, I believe that's his name, and Donald Trump, between when the vaccine was going to actually come out. And it was a huge discrepancy between the time frame. Trump said before 2021, and that's when it came out. And then the former CDC director said it's going to come out 3/4 the third quarter in 2021. So that just gave me a whole okay, what's really going on here? And I just didn't have any trust, and I still don't have any trust. And I just don't see myself taking a vaccine, because more than likely 9 times out of 10 it's going to get worse, and then I'm gonna have to take another one, another one, another one, another one, another one. And so until they come out with something that is makes myself as a citizen purely comfortable, and I'm sure those of you that are watching that aren't vaccinated, a lot of Black people, a lot of people of color, then that's when we'll decide to move on forward. But anyways, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload. I forgot to say subscribe to JOA TV. Please do subscribe to that channel. It is free. Patreon.com/JOA. Thank you so much for the support. Deuces. Yeah.